Slavery is an evil practice abolished all over the world over 200 years ago. But today, human traffickers are selling human beings as slaves in Africa. It is your responsibility to make sure that you and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People went to say Libya, Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God, when me heaven and earth, now save me. If you get 1 naira for Nigeria, you get junior one, you say you no get papa, you no get mama, now make you come out. I beg go they do farm work. You better pass person when enter road.
Don't accept to travel to Europe through the Sahara Desert. You may be walking into slavery. Don't be a slave.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link. And be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines. Domestic sidebar for headlines. Domestic sidebar for...
We hereby inform the Senate that we, the undersigned, sent to changing our political affiliation from the All Progressives Congress to the People's Democratic Party. We thank you for your exemplary leadership as always.
Ahead of schedule, National Assembly adjourned sitting to September as some legislators change political platforms.
You have a lot of so-called big masquerades with very little or no electoral value. Very soon, Nigerians will go to the polls and we will see who will deliver what in his constituency.
APC says it is not losing sleep over defection of members.
The Nigerian Air Force has been in the forefront to find a solution to curb these excesses of miscrimes in our nation.
Nigerian Air Force to intensify air surveillance in Birnangwari to checkmate banditry and cattle rustling. Central Bank of Nigeria again retains monetary policy rate at 14%. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Joining me from Lagos is Elizabeth Omorui, where Naomi Abuaku is in Maiduguri. Ahead of its scheduled legislative calendar, the Senate has adjourned plenary and proceeded on its annual recess to reconvene on Tuesday, September 25, 2018. Observers say this might not be unconnected with the invitation extended to the Senate President by the Nigerian Police Force for some clarifications. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports that before the senators went on recess, 15 senators defected from the All Progressives Congress.
As early as 9 o'clock Tuesday morning, the National Assembly lobby began to witness build-up of crowd as tension became high, fueling different speculations as to what next is about to happen at the National Assembly. About 2 hours later, the Senate President entered the chamber and plenary commences.
CPC by the Senate.
Shortly after the Senate President read the request of President Muhammadu Buhari for the confirmation of the Board of Independent Corrupt Practices and Related Offences Commission, he also read a letter of defection of 15 senators from the All Progressives Congress.
In proper recognition of Section 681G of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and for the fact of our party, the All Progressives, is hereby majority faction, we hereby inform the Senate that we, the undersigned, sent to changing our political affiliation from the All Progressives Congress to the People's Democratic Party. We thank you for your exemplary leadership, as always. Yours sincerely.
But the leader of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, raised the motion debunking claim of factionalization of APC by the defectors.
We have our internal challenges, And as a political party, we all know how so much efforts by so many stakeholders to address the issues that bedevil this party. Mr. President, the disagreements do not translate into factionalization. I will urge, Mr. President, that announcement be quarantined.
We had a situation where the Deputy Senate President could not come here, and I was already going somewhere else. This place would not have been able to hold today. For that reason, I had to come here.
The Senate has passed the bill for the amendment of the Electoral Act No. 6, as it also paid tribute to late Senator Aloysius Katsina Alu, who died recently.
Meanwhile, some senators were at the official residence of the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, when they heard that some security personnel were at Senator Ekweremadu's residence earlier today. Although details of discussions at the Deputy Senate President's residence were not made known, Senator Ike Ekweremadu spoke to the media.
They purportedly came with a letter inviting me to come to the EFCC and give explanation over things they said my names were mentioned in one of the investigations. So I said, okay, let me go and see them. They said, no, I'm not leaving. So I was ready to go and answer whatever they wanted me to answer, but they were not eager to let me go.
I'm now joined by Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police and Police Spokesperson Jimo Moshood. Acting Commissioner Jimo Moshood, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Has the Senate President honored your invitation? If not, what next?
Thank you so much. He has the Senate President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bukola Saraki, has still refused to honor the police invitation as we speak. And the Inspector General of Police have directed that the investigator should do everything within the ambit of the law to ensure that compliance with the law is observed. I want to state abundantly clear that the police personnel, there was an allegation in the media earlier today, which issued two statements today, early in the morning, that the resident of the Senate President in Maitama was besieged by police personnel. That is not correct, that is untrue. And,
including the residence of the Deputy Senate President?
No, we have no information of anything that happened in the residence of the Deputy Senate President. We don't know whether there any other agency of government, security agency that is involved in that, but as we speak, we have footage that is showing some vehicles of probably belonging to the police, and those are vehicles in the convoy of the Senate President. Those vehicles that have been seen on the social media and other media outfit are vehicles belonging to the convoy of the Senate President. There's no any personnel under the post that are being deployed. There's no any authorized deployment to the resident of the Senate President to block or to prevent them from moving. Because the Senate President was seen at the Senate and he presided over the affair of the Senate today. So if his house is blocked or if his residence is blocked, how will he be able to pass? And we want to say that equally, the insinuation that is being harassed or being intimidated, you harass or intimidate the person that you have physical contact with, and that is not equally the case. From day one, we have a case that can stand the test of trial against the Senate President, and the police will stop at nothing, ensuring that the rule of law is complied with. From the first day that the incident of robbery, bank robbery, 6 banks were robbed and the police station was attacked, 33 persons, including pregnant women, were killed in the process. And there are 5 principal suspects that were arrested in this act on the 5th of April 2018 that mentioned the Senate President to their political talk of Senate President, that he provided firearms, he provided money, and equally provided vehicle, which we are paraded before the press. And this suspect made confessional statement publicly. From that first day, the Senate President has been using all means to cast aspersion on the investigation of the police force, and this will not be allowed. And if the first sent an invitation to him yesterday to appear this morning by 8 a.m., well, we go and block his residence. If we need him to come and give information, further clearance in the further investigation of the matter, we wouldn't go and block his residence. So we want all Nigerians to know that it is not true.
So now that he has not honored your invitation, what next?
That's what I'm telling you, that within the ambit of the law, we are going to pursue all the possible means within the ambit of the law to ensure that the rule of law is complied with.
Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police, Jimo Moshood, thank you so much for coming to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
The presidency has expressed concern over what it described as orchestrated campaign against President Muhammadu Buhari each time a very important person is invited by law enforcement agencies in the discharge of their legitimate duties and functions. In a statement, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the law of the land is intended for all, not for the poor or those at the lowest level of the social ladder. Garba Shehu further stated that Nigeria will not achieve development when important cases are viewed as political and the law is considered as being applicable to some and not applicable to others. He reiterated that President Buhari does not stand in the way of law enforcement as he has no powers to stop the investigation of anyone or institution. The statement added that the president's constant word is that he will not tolerate any form of illegality, including corruption, and the law enforcement agencies have been given complete freedom to identify and bring all culprits to book. Leader of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, says the All Progressives Congress APC remains majority at the House of Representatives despite defection of some members to the opposition political parties. Addressing newsmen on the sideline of Tuesday's plenary, the House leader questioned the legality of the defection, which he says goes against Section 68 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. National Assembly correspondent Laimi Ali has details.
At plenary, normal legislative proceedings went on as usual until the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, read out separate communications from 36 members of the APC defecting to opposition parties, with one resigning from the party without stating where he stands.
We, the members of the House of Representatives sponsored by the All Progressive Congress, APC, wish to notify you of the change of our political party from APC to the People's Democratic Party. And I will read out the name of the members. There are 32. We, the members of the House of Representatives sponsored by the All Progressive Congress, APC, wish to notify you of the change of our political party from APC to the African Democratic Congress, ADC.
I want to say that I, Honorable Kejev, came here on the ticket of the APC. I'm sadly resigning my membership of the party.
The announcements of the defection generated reactions.
The members sponsored under the platform of the APC are members of the APC. If they move from the APC to any political party, Mr. Speaker, it is a must that you must declare their seats vacant.
Provided his membership of the latter political party is a result of division.
The issue of division, factionalization is always a question of facts. And it's the same position I will maintain today. Because what will save the Speaker is impartiality. And justice to one is justice to another. So the same ruling is the same ruling I'm maintaining today.
It was at this point that APC caucus at the House of Representatives moved to the media center led by the House leader Femi Gbajabiamila and addressed the press, describing the defection as contrary to constitutional provisions.
That section has already been interpreted by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. In the case of PDP versus Abegunde, who was a member of the House of Representatives. And the meaning of division has been clearly stated by the Supreme Court. We are all aware of the Supreme Court decision in Amechi's case, where the Supreme Court said and made it abundantly clear that it is in Nigeria today, it is not the person that is elected, but it is the party that people elect.
The defectors, on the other hand, gave reasons for their decisions at a separate briefing.
No sooner had we formed government in May 2015 that the party set itself on a course to derail itself. And that derailment continued up until today.
The House has in the meantime adjourned to 25th September 2018. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed his total commitment to values of democracy, freedom of choice, as well as total willingness to work with all members of the National Assembly, irrespective of their political parties, for the benefit of the nation. In his reaction to the developments Tuesday morning at the National Assembly, the President noted that none of the defecting federal lawmakers of the All Progressives Congress, APC, had any specific grievances against him or the federal government he leads. Neither did he harbor anything against any of them. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, indicates that President Buhari assured members of the APC of his total support and urged party faithfuls not to despair, but to see the defectors as a seasonal, or the defection as a seasonal occurrence that happens on eve of elections. He expressed confidence that no harm or injury will be done to the political party and its aspirants by the movements. President Buhari wished all the decamped members the best in their future undertakings. The national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, has formally reacted to the reported defection of the National Assembly members from the party, insisting that mercenaries' activities can never make him lose any sleep. Speaking to journalists after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Oshomole said, the business of governance can never be driven by personal interests, rather men and women of honor.
This party that I am privileged to chair is not worried at all. We are not disturbed. I'm not going to miss my sleep. And we will go in for the campaign. Check the electoral result. You will find that a lot of those who claim to have the camp, on a good day, the vote they got that makes them members of the Senate. Our president got much more votes in their constituency. So we are not fooled at all. You know, the thing going on is that, you have a lot of so-called big masquerades with very little or no electoral value. I've done my best, which I think I needed to do, to give people comfort, if those who claim to be aggrieved, but those who have other hidden agenda that are not negotiable. I am not going to be able to appeal to anyone who expected X level of return and the system is not delivering it in terms of personal returns. I can't solve that. But those who felt that in terms of within the management of the party, they have issues, those ones are on the table, they can be dealt with. But those who have issues under the table, they are beyond me. But let me assure you, I am so happy that over time, water will find its level.
The APC National Chairman further said the All Progressives Congress, like the APC, is not for everyone, but those who subscribe to its values and ideals.
Right. And you mistakenly find yourself in a progressive party. Obviously, that is not where you belong. As soon as you realize that you can't adjust to the requirement of progressive party, which is people-driven, people-based, people-oriented, and you choose to return to the right wing, where you know what the name of the game was, share the money. It's your choice. But I need to remind you, I am not a poor student of struggle. I am not a professor of struggle. I am a product of struggle. So I know what I'm talking about. Very soon, Nigerians will go to the polls, and we will see who will deliver what in his constituency.
Mr. Oshomole also spoke on the commencement of recess by the National Assembly ahead of schedule.
The business of the Senate and or the National Assembly is not to legislate for the good governance of APC. It is to legislate for the good governance of Nigeria. If people have chosen that it is more politically convenient to suspend the process of legislation ahead of time because it's not convenient for their political interests and choose to subordinate the Nigerian national interest for that purpose, it is their choice. If there are implications, it is for the Nigerian nation, not for APC.
I'm now joined by the Senate leader, Senator Ahmed Lawan, to speak more on the developments at the National Assembly. What do you make of all these, and where does the party, APC, go from here?
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Let me correct an impression. First of all, you said in your news that 15 senators decamped to PDP. That is not correct.
How many decamped or that are defected?
15, they call out 15 names. Later, Senator Soji Akombi from Oyo came in and said he didn't decamp, and his name was among the 15, so 14. And among the 14, we have Senator Olarinwaju Tajisho from Ogun State, Senator Mansoura Sumonu from Oyo, Senator Abdulaziz Inyako from Adamawa, they come to ADC. And then the balance is in PDP. And let me give you a scenario. Today, APC has 53 senators, and we have given out the names to the press. PDP has 48. Well, let me be generous and say PDP has 49, including Senator Buruji Kashamu, who was expelled from the party. But if you take out Buruji Kashamu, he would be an independent now that he has been expelled, and PDP would have 48. ADC has 3, ABGA has 2, Senator Victor Ume and Senator Stella Odua. And then we have 2 vacant seats, one from Katsina and the second one from Bauchi. These were 2 Senate APC seats, and they are very safe seats for us. Elections will be conducted by the grace of God on the 11th of August, and we will win those 2 seats. So APC maintains the majority, is the largest party with the largest number of senators in the Senate. But let me also say that we have some lessons to learn from this. We, as leaders, we have to still engage. We have to talk a lot more. We have to consult and try to bring back some of our colleagues who might have been told some things that will never be correct or never be true. I believe that in the next 1 or 2 weeks, some of our colleagues who have gone to PDP will retrace their steps back to APC. And our leaders in the APC are doing everything possible. They are working around the clock to ensure that whoever has some genuine complaints, and there are so many with genuine complaints, are attended to and their complaints will be addressed. Let me also say that we will continue to work with Mr. President. The APC caucus met this afternoon after close of session. We also visited the National Secretariat of our party. We met with the National Chairman and the National Working Committee. We have pledged our unflinching support and loyalty for our party and for our administration. We will continue to support Mr. President to ensure that all our campaign promises to Nigerians are delivered as much as we can. So we were not happy that we had to part ways with some of our colleagues, but we still are happy that we're able to maintain that majority that Nigerians have given the party.
You saw in the report from the House of Representatives, the House leader, Senator Representative Gbajabiamila, was saying that the defection is not in accordance with Section 68 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. What do you make of that? Is that the stand of the Senate as well?
That's very correct. In fact, when the names were reeled out, I stood up in the chamber and said there was no faction in the APC. People might have tried to create some kind of artificial faction, but it didn't work. The R or Reform APC is not a faction. It's a group of APC members who have grievances. That does not create a faction. And therefore, as far as Section 68 of the Constitution is concerned, APC is one, APC is intact, and anybody who goes out of it with APC's mandate is supposed to leave or vacate his seat for APC because, like we all know, voters vote for the party, not the individual candidate. And we have seen this in so many judgments that were delivered previously.
Lastly, will APC take this issue to court so that clearly the court will determine whether there is really, if you like, it's a break within the party?
No, I would rather say that APC should try, first of all, to engage, because there could be people who are misinformed, who are misled into believing certain things that are not correct, and therefore could easily see the problems they have taken themselves into, and therefore retrace their steps. So I will advise that first of all we engage everyone, and then there could be people who will never come back. If someone decides at the end of the day that he or she will never come back, then we have to demand for our seat, vacate our seat, if you are not coming back, because APC Nigerians from that part of the country, that senatorial district, voted for APC, not you as an individual.
Senator Ahmad Lawan, Senate leader of the 8th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, thank you so much for coming to the studio.
Thank you, Kudu.
Still on the developments at the National Assembly, the National Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress, APC, played host to party faithfuls shortly after some members of the party at the National Assembly defected to other political parties. Correspondent Saliu Abdullahi reports that among the visitors were Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosu, Governor-elect of Ekiti State Kayode Fayemi, Secretary to the Government of the Federation Boss Mustafa, and several others. Others are 7 senators and members of the House of Representatives led by the Senate leader Ahmad Lawan. Meetings with the leadership of the APC was behind closed doors. Some of them who spoke with the media say the defection of some APC members to PDP and ADC would not have negative effect on APC's desire to retain power and continue the good works it has been doing for the country.
To reach out to our colleagues who have left us, to try to explain to them and of course give them the comfort that they require, that this party, APC, is the party to work with, because we have a President Muhammadu Buhari, who has remained focused, who has done so much with so little resources in Nigeria, who is busy providing infrastructure today in this country.
Doesn't portend any danger to our party, not at all. Democracy is not an event, it's a process. You don't take an isolated event and come to a conclusion about that. As one door shuts, some other doors will open. Just stay tuned.
Ekiti State Governor-elect Kayode Fayemi. Time to take a break for some messages. NTA Network News continues in just a moment.